Welcome everyone to our September Hunger Free Communities quarterly meeting. I'm Minerva Delgado at the Alliance to End Hunger. I'm joined by my colleague.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you all. I'm Aaliyah, Hunger Free Communities Associate. Happy Tuesday.
But we will proceed and hopefully have some fruitful discussion. And I know a lot of people go ahead and look at these recordings after we post them online. So we will proceed that way. Why don't we start with introductions and any updates, organizational updates that folks have. This is also a great time to get those out. Why don't we start with the folks from the Second Harvest Food Bank of Northeast Tennessee. Rhonda, do you want to just start us out?
Yes, thank you. Rhonda Chafin. I'm with Second Harvest Food Bank of Northeast Tennessee, and I'm very excited that I have some of my colleagues, Shelley Huber and Patricia McKesson, and they will be presenting our wonderful project that we've been working through and over the past several months, and we're really excited to share that work. But thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Wonderful. Thanks, Rhonda. So we'll go ahead to your other colleagues. Patricia, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? But it looks like you're muted.
Yes, here we
There
are.
we go.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Patricia McKesson, and I've come aboard here with Second Harvest Food Bank, and one capacity is for the Food Equity Task Force. So, as Rhonda stated, we are very excited about this program. Lots of work to do and looking forward to getting that done and making sure that food is distributed equitably across the region. Um, and we're also here with Shelley Huber.
Thanks, Patricia. So I'm Shelley Huber. I'm the Director of Impact and Strategy here at Second Harvest Food Bank of Northeast Tennessee. And yeah, we are very excited to have you all with us today. We also have, I'll turn it over to Ms. Tara, also here at Second Harvest for introductions.
Hi, I'm sorry. I was having some technical difficulties over there, and I had to ask Kathy to log on for me, see if she could get in. So I apologize for the delay. But yeah, I am here, and I'm glad that we're having this meeting. So thanks for joining, Shelley and Patricia.
And Tara, if you could just introduce your role.
My role, I am the grants coordinator. I'm the one that wrote the Alliance to End Hunger grant.
Right. Why don't we move on to the Arizona Food Bank Network? It looks like Isabella's with us.
Hi, everyone. I'm Isabel from the Arizona Food Bank Network. I am the community program manager, and we are working on our LGBTQ food security survey and needs assessment. We had our first focus group, which was really successful, and we are planning our next 3 and maybe 4. So we're hoping to keep that going, but doing well. Good to see you all.
Thank you. Why don't we move to Jill with Save the Children? And Jill, folks may not be familiar with your Hunger Free Communities work there, so maybe you can introduce that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everyone. I'm Jill Panicelli with Save the Children. So I'm the Senior Advisor for Food Security here. And Save the Children is a national organization, but we are piloting the Hunger Free Communities approach in 3 communities in Texas, and with Baylor as a partner on the ground there as well. So, additionally, we're partnering with Dr. Craig Gunderson, who's also at Baylor, for evaluation evaluation of the program. So we're really excited to be part of this community of folks that are implementing the HFC model, and we are looking to understand what value Save the Children can add to helping to expand this model for, across communities, especially thinking about rural communities, since that's the focus of Save the Children's domestic work. So yeah, looking forward to learning more from you guys and sharing what we're learning as we go along as well.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Jill. Why don't we go to Sarah next?
Hey everybody, I'm Sarah Gonzalez with the Hunger Solutions Institute. Sorry, I'm on the road today, so I don't have my camera on. But I work with Hunger Solutions Institute. We also run End Child Hunger in Alabama. One thing that I did want to mention, I'm not sure if we have anybody on the call today, but we do have an upcoming conference, Feeding Change, that is pretty much everybody, food security, food systems, across the board in the state of Alabama. And so I'll drop a link in the chat. If anybody on here, or if you know of anybody who might be interested in either attending or sponsoring, we'd love to have more people there. So I'll put that in there. Thank you so much.
Sarah, that's wonderful. And I do see someone just on the phone, but I don't have a name. So if you could introduce yourself, it's an 847 number.
Hi, my name is Carrie Smith. I'm with Hunger Resource Network. We're located in Northbrook, Illinois, and we fight food security by providing protein in the form of frozen chicken to 100 food pantries in the Chicagoland area. I'm the development director, and thank you for the opportunity to introduce myself.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you here. Did I miss anyone? All right. So we'll just go ahead and jump right into the agenda. Aaliyah, if you want to introduce our first panel.
Yes, so we are here today, as you know, our guest speakers today are Second Harvest Food Bank, and our guest speaker is going to be Ms. Patricia McKesson. And she, as she said, she coordinates the efforts of the Food Equity Task Force. So or Shelley, you're sharing your screen? Okay, let me give you sharing. Okay, there you go.
And for anyone who may not be on video right now, we will share the presentation after the meeting, so you'll have access to that as well. And we always post these meetings on our website. We post the video on the website. Thank you.
I can see the
You
screen.
can see it?
We can. I can see it. Can
Okay,
everybody see it
perfect.
too?
Thank you. I just can't see it on my screen for the meeting. But yeah, with that, we'll let Patricia introduce the Food Equity Task Force.
Okay, thank you so much, Shelley. And again, thank you for having me on today to give some more information about the Food Equity Task Force here at Second Harvest Food Bank. This is just an incredible project that I am so happy to be a part of. It's amazing the work that we do, and to be a part to make sure that everyone is served is fantastic. So just to give a little information here, Shelley's going to share the screen as I attempt to talk at the same time. So we're going to tag team this here. So the Food Equity Task Force here at Second Harvest, what we're looking to do is the concept. There's a concept amongst food equity that everyone should be able to acquire or get food, not just any food, but healthy food, consume affordable food that everyone can afford. And that's hard to come by these days because food is so expensive. And not only that, when we're speaking with people of color, there are so many different cultures. So we want to make sure that the food that we're giving is also culturally significant, because we want to make sure that it is something that they're going to eat within their culture, their religion, and make sure that that is indeed healthy for them. Now, what we're wanting to do as part of the task force is to help solve the hunger at a regional level, so that we can look to see where the need is, increase that access. So if we're going into Greenville or Kingsport, Johnson City, wherever we're going, we want to make sure that we're going to the right places so that everyone is able to access this food. Because it is a charitable food system, not just for people of color, but among the people of color, get the name out there in Northeast Tennessee to know that the help is there. Next slide there talks about the national insecurity rate, food insecurity rate. 13.5% of all Americans are food insecure. That number is huge. But then when we dive into it in even more alarmingly, we find that people of color in Northeast Tennessee experience food insecurity at a rate that's more than double that than the white non-Hispanic neighbors. So, and in comparison of that, let's take a look at this food insecurity by the largest counties in our area that we service by race. This is in Northeast Tennessee. So we have the Black community, the Hispanic community, as well as the non-Hispanic white community. You see the green line there is for the 13.5 was the national average. We are above that national average in all categories. But then if you look at the blue lines, which represents Black, and then the orange of Latino or Hispanic communities, those numbers are going to more than double. 31% in Sullivan County of Black people are insecure, food insecure. 32% of Hispanics in Greene County are food insecure. So that's why we want to make sure when we go in to these locations that we're accessing these communities to make sure that they're getting the food that they need to survive. The next slide will talk more about the food insecurity as well, but as Tennessee as a state compared to our area here in Northeast Tennessee, again, you see that we are well above the state average and more than double with Black and Brown communities comparison with the Tennessee numbers. So we're just a bit below with the white non-Hispanic, but we're right on that line and even doubling that. So that's why it's so important for this food equity task force. Thanks to the amazing generosity of the ELCA as well as the Alliance to End Hunger to make sure that we're able to service these communities. Now, who we are is we want to work collaboratively with various partners so that we can find those gaps and those gaps in resources and find those opportunities with an understanding that only a holistic approach that considers that systematic and structural racism does have a part in this, but we can work together to reduce that hunger. The way that we're going to do this and the goal that we have is we want to use this platform to meet our neighbors where they are with various outreach initiatives, just to talk to people one-on-one and ensure that underserved communities are identified, that we know that they're there, we know where they are. We want to acknowledge that they're there and provide for them. So we're going to build that trust in these communities so that we can go in and make sure that they're properly served. Now, to do that, we have task force members from all walks of life. We have representatives with Ballot Health. We have Latino Realtors Association, Vice President for Equity Inclusion at East Tennessee State. So we want to make sure that a local restaurant owner that sees hunger and has so many efforts to go out and feed people. He's so excited about this. He's already given me several. Well, this lady over here is going, and we need to go over here. So this is what we needed when we need it. So it's so exciting. And again, it's just all walks of life coming together for this cause. Now, we're going to use various methods to reach the underserved communities. Look at those two people in that picture there. Shelly and I went out to the Umoja Festival this past weekend, speaking one-on-one with people about the different services that Second Harvest offers. I mean, I didn't know how extensive it was before I came here, and it's so wonderful to let people know that there is hope. And when you're part of that hope, it's an amazing feeling. So we're going to reach the multicultural festivals, go to more of these outreach programs. We're always looking for neighbor recommendations because no one knows better what's happening except for the people that are right there in the middle. And those partners, we want those partner referrals. Hey, we're doing great work here at First Baptist, but we need you over there at the Methodist Church or whatever that is. We're going to go where we're needed. And we've also have a survey so that we can gather the data that we need for these programs so that we can, give that back to the government or the powers that be to show that the need is there and to show that we're being part of that solution. All right. So together, and it takes a village with everything that you do, but together we can make that difference. All neighbors, regardless of race, color, culture, religion, should be able to have nutritious, culturally appropriate food available to them. And we are committed to reaching people and communities that's been disproportionately impacted by hunger, including the rural communities and the communities of color, which a lot of times can be one and the same. They think that they've been forgotten, but we're going to make sure that we know that you're not forgotten and we're here for you. Okay, so that is a brief overview of what we're doing now and how we're planning to do that. Are there any questions that we may be able to help with?
I'm definitely curious to know how you all are just like recruiting those like the task force members that you have. And how
Yes.
you're finding new members like to join you all and what that looks like.
Great question. We actually sent out an invitation of sorts to various members of the community and gave a little bit of information of what we're looking to do. Fortunately, they named this perfectly, so it tells people exactly what we're looking to do, and a lot of people are just excited to do that. We are looking for anyone that wants to help. You don't have to be a person of color to help. Of course, we're all lifting one another up, but if for instance, the director of a Catholic church may have a lot of access to Hispanic congregation. So they may want to serve on the task force to make sure that their parish is looked over. So we're looking for anyone that wants to help. We're starting with this small group, looking to just expand it more and more to where that monthly meeting may end up being a virtual meeting because we have so many partners in so many locations.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I just want to say thank you, Patricia. This is very impressive. And we are so glad to have you on board here at Second Harvest. I think you did an incredible job.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Um,
Patricia, I love the opportunity. So many people are busy and but want to be a part of this. And I love the virtual option. I think that's going to be very successful as we move forward. I know the committee has met and you've had conversations. And I think to expand to every community and to even, Minerva, even to use this model for other communities for the network and throughout the United States. I think it's going to be a great opportunity to pull together our communities to work together. I love and she also created the logo. And I thought that was really wonderful as well.
Thank you so much, Rhonda. And I mentioned to you before that to have a director that cares so much to put something like this in place. I mean, it's not something that you see everywhere, but it's a wonderful opportunity, and it just shows the growth of this facility. Every place I go, I hear, well, we've been with Rhonda for years. I remember when we were just in Elizabethton, and now you're filling up the old Sam's building. It's just incredible the work that you do here.
You said in the beginning, it takes a community and a village, and it does. And so thank you for that.
This has been really interesting. Thank you. This is Minerva. I do have a question. I'm just curious, when you speak to folks, what are you finding are the biggest barriers for them in terms of being able to access information and resources?
Well, a lot of people, do not have access to phones or social media, things like that. So it's really more just meeting the people where they are. We've had different focus groups and things. Transportation is a big factor. When we have something to where they can walk to it, then they're so grateful for that. So we really have to make sure that we go out and meet the people where they are. So transportation.
Any other questions for Patricia?
I had a question real quick. I love how you started the presentation with this great data, digging into food insecurity rates for different populations, especially at the county level. It looks like that came from Map the Meal Gap. Were you able to get disaggregated data by race and county through Map the Meal Gap, or was that through a different source? I just wanted
It
to.
was through Map the Meal Gap, and we
Okay.
believe that this is the first year. I think it says that on the Map the Meal Gap that it has taken the racial demographics down to that county level. So that is something that really gave us a jump start. We've had some surveys. Those have been kind of slow in getting those completed. But we had some success with about 40 of the surveys being filled out. But when we are able to see the data that Feeding America has compiled, or that Ballad Health has compiled for each county, that allows us to really see at a high level the numbers that we have, and then the numbers that are underserved. And so, like on the slide, it said, alarmingly, we have learned that there's so much disparity between white and non-white food insecurity that, just based on that, we know we've got to jump in and start with our action planning, evaluating our existing programs, because we have several programs here at Northeast Second Harvest Food Bank of Northeast Tennessee, but we want to make sure that periodically we're reviewing each one of those, because times change, people move. So we want to make sure that we're always reviewing those, evaluating those criteria to make sure that we are being equitable and inclusive to all of our neighbors.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much.
To that question, Jill. And if folks think it would be helpful to invite Feeding America to come and do a presentation on their updated Map the Meal Gap and the data that's available through that, just let us know. We'd be happy to put that together. Any other questions? Well, thank you. Thank you all so much. This has been really informative and helpful, and it's just great to get a sense of the work that you're doing, and really appreciate your time today on that. So Shelley, if you don't mind stopping the share, we'll go back to the main agenda. And I think we might have had one or two people join us since the presentation started. We did start with introductions. So maybe we can have folks still see there we go. Okay. Maybe we can have folks who joined us once the presentation started, go ahead and introduce themselves. And also give us any organizational updates you might be interested in doing. I see Anne Marie has joined us.
Hi, yeah, so sorry that I was late, just kind of back-to-back calls today. I'm Anne Marie Hart Bookbinder. I'm the Director of Food Security Programs at the Montgomery County Food Council. And I have two quick updates I wanted to share. The first one, I just wanted to thank this community so much because it led me to have a conversation with Jillian at our friendly doppelganger organization in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, to meet and kind of talk about how we might want to restructure some of our programs and meetings for food assistance providers that we do here to think about a more local level. And Indie Hunger Network, I think I'm coming your way at some point to learn a little more about your food assistance provider kind of self-assessment tool and think about how we might be able to use that as we think about supports and training that our providers might need. And then from just our own organization work, I will just share that yesterday we have a separate school-based food assistance resources meeting that we convene on a monthly basis because our county, I mean, we've always worked closely with our county's public schools to, try to connect on the fact that we're all in this community together and that what we do has an effect on each other in terms of programs. And we were just able to have an in-person meeting yesterday at our school system site with a brand new superintendent. And so that was just a wonderful opportunity to, have that level of, commitment, to come in and to learn about this space and how we might be able to work better together in the future on really working on a system-wide basis to address the food security needs of students in our county. So that was exciting. And
Amazing.
thank you. And we do have, I think, oh, where'd she go? I think my colleague was joining us, but maybe she fell off. Oh, she is. She's me too. Okay. That's
Yeah, I don't know why it's showing up as Anne Marie, but I'm Beta. I'm working with the Food Council as an AmeriCorps Vista and focusing on capacity building. So yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being in AmeriCorps. I know so many of our organizations really rely on a more AmeriCorps service to advance our work. So welcome. Jillian, do you want to introduce yourself next and any organizational updates?
Sure. I'm Jillian. Sorry, I was late too. I was also running around to meetings all day. I'm Jillian. I'm from Montco Anti-Hunger Network in Pennsylvania. And we serve Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, and I'm the innovation coordinator there. Some organizational updates. We had some innovation projects running over the last year. That was my role. And they're wrapping up. And so hopefully in the next, 3 to 6 months, we can give some updates on what those were and how they were able to scale up in our county and things like that. We're super excited about those. And then we're planning a annual summit that's in November. So that's what I've been working a lot of my time on recently. And so those are the two main updates from us.
Thank you so much. Kate, do you want to go next?
I can get myself off mute. Hi, everybody. I'm Kate Howe. I'm the executive director at Indie Hunger Network in Indianapolis. And I was late because we had a gas leak on our block and fire trucks everywhere, but we got the all clear. So back to work. So I'm sorry I missed almost all of that presentation. I hope that I think you'll probably be sending out the slides. Is that right? Yeah. So I'll make sure I review those afterwards. Updates from us. We have long been housed by Gleaners Food Bank, which is the Feeding America food bank in the Indianapolis area. And in November of last year, we moved into our own office for the first time, which is an old house. Looks like I'm in my bedroom, but this is actually my office. So that's been exciting for us. And we started a new program when we moved into our new space called Fresh, which is the Food Resource Services Hub. We do kind of everything related to helping people connect to food assistance. So we do SNAP enrollment, we do Sunbucks, summer EBT enrollment. We do, help people connect to WIC for appointments. We have emergency food bags on site. We use Community Compass, which is our app that helps people find food to refer people to food pantries in the area. And so we have 3 staff members now that are helping people day to day with that hands-on assistance. And then Anne-Marie, since you mentioned our manual of best practices for food pantries, we're working on a new version. The first version came out in 2020, and we hope to release the second version next spring. So we have an annual food pantry summit for all the food pantries in our area, about 350 in the greater metropolitan area. And our goal is to have that ready to go for our food pantry summit in March. So we'll make sure to share online for anyone who wants to borrow for their own use.
Thank you so much, Kate. It's great to see you. And we will send out the recording. So anyone who missed the first few minutes, you'll be able to catch up as well. So just to give you a few updates from the Alliance to End Hunger, we are also planning our conference. The Hunger Free Community Summit will be on November 14th, and that will be virtual again this year. And we're really excited. The program is coming together. We've gotten a lot of submissions around food as medicine. Seems to be a theme that I know, we've cared about for a long time here at the Alliance, but there's a lot of new and growing interest in that work. So that will definitely be highlighted at our conference this year. We're going to have the registration is open, and Aaliyah, if you could drop a link to the registration. We keep these registration fees very, very low, as hopefully you all registered while we still had the $25 fee, but now it's full registration fee of $50. So still very accessible, and it's our goal to make this conference as accessible as possible. We'll be putting together the agenda in about the next 2 weeks, and anybody who submitted workshop proposals and or Hunger Free Community Award applications will be hearing from us certainly by the end of September, but hopefully by the end of next week. So we're just really excited because I think it's going to be, once again, very interesting conference highlighting so much innovative work that's happening in the community. So we're really, really excited about it. The other thing that we'll start working on very soon is planning our Southern Regional convening. So I know a few of you joined either our Midwest or our Northeast regional convenings earlier this year in March and in May, where we brought partners in the regions together to be in the room, right? We love our annual conference, but we know that you can't network through a virtual conference. It's really tough to do that. So putting you in the same room, which I'm still hearing, and thank you, Anne-Marie, for sharing, has had, so many benefits to all of you to actually be in the same space and be able to talk and meet each other in person. So we are planning our Southern Regional Conference, we'll be planning that in concert with Auburn University, and we'll be doing it in Birmingham at the Shipped headquarters. They've offered up their headquarters. So we're pretty excited about that. And we're looking at a date at the end of January for that. So for those of you in the Southern region, we'll be reaching out about that. I think those were all the announcements we had, but happy to take any questions as well about work that we're doing. Hopefully you all know we are continuing to advocate for a strong farm bill. Won't get too deep into those policy updates right now. We know that, we're also hoping that there is going to be a clean continuing resolution, clean CR, where, the government can be funded at least through the first quarter of the year without averting a government shutdown. So those are some of the things we're working on at the federal level in terms of our policy work. And we're always happy to share information that you may be looking for about what's happening at the federal level as well. But let me pause there, just see if there are any questions about anything.
Minerva, can I add a quick
Yeah,
add?
please.
So the Hunger Solutions Institute is hosting a conference. It's called Feeding Change, Nourishing Alabama's Future. That's going to be held November 6th and 7th in Montgomery. And I have a link to distribute if anyone is interested. And I'm also going to put it in a follow-up email.
Yeah, Sarah did drop that link earlier, but for anyone who joined later, you may not have it.
Yeah,
So.
for the new folks, I don't think they can see it. So I'm just gonna add that. Just want to make sure.
And while you're dropping the link, next Thursday, Hunger Free Oklahoma is doing their Hungry for Action conference, and I'll be presenting there about the work that we do collectively as the Hunger Free Communities Network. So I'm excited about that. That's next Thursday. For anyone in the area, if you're interested, please register for the conference. Did you have any other updates, Leah?
And Manna Food Center in Montgomery County, Maryland is on their search for their next CEO and wanted us to spread the word. So I'll add that too. And that's it.
So we'll add that also to the follow-up email in case you know any wonderful candidates, and I'm sure there are lots in the network. Having been an executive director of Manna Food Center, I can tell you that they are a wonderful organization in Gaithersburg, Maryland, and just do amazing work in Montgomery County, Maryland. Lots of Montgomery counties across the country. Okay, well, I think that's all from us, but we're happy to entertain any questions, comments, or also any interest for topics for our next meeting in December.
I just wanted to mention something that I've recently started engaging with that maybe folks in the room will be interested in. The Oregon Food Bank has an equity department that works on creating trainings and resources they partner with Feeding America to provide through HungerNet free training and resources in equity. And so I recently went to one about intercultural communication, and they have a food banking lens with everything that they put out, which it took me a long time to find some resources for working with different types of communities with a food banking lens. And this is the one that I found that I've really been enjoying engaging with. They also have a week-long training next week that I'll be attending virtually. And what's great about it is it's free resource through the HungerNet portal, which I'm sure everybody is on. And so I'm going to link their website here. I would start by subscribing to their newsletter. And then you're also able to see all of the trainings and resources that they have. And is it only for Feeding America agencies? I think, I know that I am able to access it through their newsletter separate from HungerNet, and also through Feeding America's HungerNet. The only thing I'm unclear on is prices, if you were to engage with like a week-long training, but they also have monthly calls that are just kind of like coffee conversations around equity and engaging with different types of communities in the food banking world. That's been really helpful for me on the innovation team here as we engage with migrant farm workers and the Native population, and we're doing the LGBTQ population, and just the range of diversity as we're all trying to feed people and engage with people. Having a space to just ask questions and talk about what other people are doing has been really helpful. So yeah, I just want to share that resource.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? All right. Well, we appreciate your time today, and we'll be in touch and certainly share all of the various links as well in email, as well as today's presentation. Again, thank you for your time today, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Have a good one.